Very good morning to class 8th students. I hope your holiday has gone well. I hope you all are fine and keeping well. Today, I'll be teaching you your third chapter, that is Enchanted Pool. So, let's begin this chapter. Third chapter, the Enchanted Pool. Enchanted Pool is the name of a very fresh water pool in which these Pandavas try to drink water. Let's begin with one of the riddle. What is the riddle? Are you wise enough to answer this ancient riddle? I never was, am always to be. No one ever saw me, no one ever will. And yet am the hope of all to live and breathe on this earthly ball. What it is, can anyone guess? Hint also given. It never comes. Answer is tomorrow. What is the answer, dear students? Answer is tomorrow. Now, so let's read this story from the Mahabharata that reflects the wisdom of Yudhishthira. Yudhishthira was one of the Pandavas. Let us see what the story say. The stipulated period of 12 years was drawing to a close. One day, a deer was rubbing itself against the sage fire kindling mortar, and its turn to go. The mortar got entangled in its horn, and the frightened animal fled wildly with it into forest. In those days, matches were unknown, and the fire was kindled with the pieces of wood by mechanical friction. Alas, the deer is running away with my fire kindled, shouted the sage, and rushed towards the Pandavas for help in his distress. Distress, you can say. It is extremely worrying. The Pandavas pursued the animal, but it was magic deer, which sped in great laps and bound, decoying means misleading, the Pandavas far into the forest and then disappeared. Worn out by the futile chase, the Pandavas sat in awe. There are word meanings at the end of this page. Please write all the word meanings in your notebook. I repeat the sentence again. Worn out by the futile chase, the Pandavas sat in a great dejection under a banyan tree. Nakula sighed. We cannot render even this trifling service to the sage. How we have degenerated, he said sadly. Yudhishthira noticed with sorrow that his brothers had lost their cheerfulness and courage. He thought that they would be more cheerful with something to do. He was tormented with his thirst, and so he said to Nakula, Brother, climb that tree and see whether there is any pool or river nearby. Nakula climbed the tree, looked around, and said, At a little distance I see water plants and cranes. Cranes are water plants like shrubs. There must be certainly be water there. Yudhishthira sent him to fetch some water to drink. Between we can solve one of the in-text question. Why did Yudhishthira not go himself to fetch water to quench his thirst? So, answer can be here. Yudhishthira noticed with sorrow that his brothers had lost their cheerfulness and courage. So, we can take from there. Still, I will show you one of the printed answer. Wait for some time. Nakula was glad when he got to the place and saw there was a pool. He was very thirsty himself, and so he thought of quenching his thirst first. Before taking water in his cure is a what you can say container in which it's a cover in which that arrows are kept. So that is cure, a case like a case for keeping arrows. Nicola was glad when he got to place and saw there was a pool. He was very thirsty himself, so he thought of quenching his thirst first. Before taking water in his cure for his brother, but no sooner did he dip his hand in the transparent water than he heard a voice which said, Do not be rash. This pool belongs to me. O son of Madri, answer my question and then drink the water. Nakula was surprised, but carried away by his intense thirst, and heedless of the warning, he drank. He drank the water. At once, overcome by great drowsiness, he fell down, to all appearance dead. Surprised that Nakula had not returned. I'll read this later. Let us see in text first question. What does in text first question say? So that I have already told you Am exercises tomorrow. In text first question, why did Yudhishthira not go himself to fetch water? Quench his third. Answer is Yudhishthira noticed with sorrow that his brother had lost their cheerfulness and courage. Full stop. He thought that they would be more cheerful with something to do, so he sent one of them to fetch water instead of going himself. So this is complete answer. You can take one pencil and write in textbook itself. I repeat the answer. Rishta noticed with sorrow that his brothers had lost their cheerfulness and courage. He thought that they would be more cheerful with something to do, so he sent one of them to fetch water instead of going himself. Remaining portion I'm just sending in second video as it will be little making disturbance. So I'm just sending within few seconds second part of this lesson 3.